Everyone says you need 6 months of expenses saved for emergencies, but that advice is actually wrong for most people. Today I'm breaking down exactly how much you specifically need in your emergency fund based on your real-life situation, and how to build it faster than you think. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Finance Byte. Let me ask you something. If your car broke down tomorrow and needed a $1,000 repair, could you pay for it without using a credit card or asking someone for money? If you lost your job today, how long could you survive without income? These aren't fun questions, but they're critical. An emergency fund is the foundation of financial security. It's what stands between you and going into debt when life happens. And trust me, life will happen. But here's the problem with generic advice. Financial experts throw out numbers like 3 months or 6 months of expenses without considering your unique situation. That's like a doctor prescribing medicine without examining you first. So today, I'm giving you a personalized framework to calculate exactly how much you need, a realistic plan to save it, and where to actually keep this money so it's safe but accessible. If you're new to Finance Byte, we drop practical money advice every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out. Now, let's figure out your number. Before we get into the numbers, let's talk about why this matters so much. According to recent data, nearly 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. That's terrifying because emergencies aren't rare. They're guaranteed to happen. Medical bills, car repairs, home maintenance, job loss, sudden travel for family emergencies, broken appliances, vet bills. These things don't care about your budget or your timeline. They just happen. And when you don't have an emergency fund, you're forced into bad financial decisions. Without emergency savings, you end up putting expenses on credit cards at 18 to 25% interest. Or you take out payday loans at insane rates. Or you pull money from retirement accounts and pay taxes plus penalties. Or you go into debt to family and friends and strain those relationships. Every single one of these options makes your financial situation worse and keeps you trapped in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. But with an emergency fund, you handle problems with cash. No debt. No stress. No derailing your long-term goals. You fix the car, pay the bill, and move on with your life. That peace of mind is priceless. This is why building an emergency fund comes before investing, before paying off low-interest debt, before almost everything else. It's your financial foundation. All right, so how much do you need? The standard advice is 3 to 6 months of expenses, but that range is too broad to be useful. Let me give you a better framework based on your specific situation. Grab a pen because we're calculating your personal number right now. Step 1. Calculate your monthly essential expenses. Not your income, not your total spending, just essentials. What would you absolutely need to survive if you lost your income tomorrow? Rent or mortgage, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments, groceries, transportation to get to job interviews, basic phone service. Add those up. Let's say that comes to $2,500 per month for this example. Step 2. Choose your multiplier based on your job stability and life situation. Here's where we get personal. If you're a single person with a stable job in a growing field, highly employable, no dependents, and you rent rather than own, you can probably get away with 3 months of expenses. That's $7,500 in our example. If you're married with dual incomes, still relatively stable, you might need for months. Because if one person loses their job, the other can carry things while you job hunt. That's $10,000. If you're self-employed, work in a volatile industry, single income household with dependents, or you own a home with maintenance costs, you need 6 months minimum. That's $15,000. And if you're in a really unstable situation, like commission-based income, seasonal work, or high-risk industry, consider 9 to 12 months. I know that sounds like a lot, but think about it this way. If you're a freelancer and clients can disappear overnight, you need a bigger cushion than someone with a guaranteed salary and union protections. So here's your formula. Monthly essential expenses times your multiplier equals your emergency fund target. Write that number down. That's your goal. Now, let's talk about how to actually save it without taking 10 years. Here's a strategy that makes this less overwhelming. Build your emergency fund in 2 tiers. This is what I did, and it made the goal feel actually achievable instead of impossible. Tier 1 is your starter emergency fund of $1,000. This is your first milestone. $1,000 covers most common emergencies. Flat tire, minor medical bill, small appliance replacement, basic car repair. Will it cover job loss? No. But it keeps you out of credit card debt for everyday emergencies while you work on the bigger goal. Focus all your energy on hitting this $1,000 first. Cut expenses aggressively for a few months. Sell stuff you don't need. Take on extra hours or a temporary side gig. Hit this hard and fast. For most people, you can save $1,000 in 2 for months if you really prioritize it. When I did this, I sold old electronics, worked overtime, and skipped eating out. I hit $1,000 in 11 weeks. Once you have your starter fund, here's where it gets strategic. If you have high-interest debt like credit cards, pause building your full emergency fund and attack that debt. Why? Because if you're paying 20% interest on credit card balances, that's costing you more than you're earning in savings. Kill the high-interest debt, then come back and build your tier 2. But if you don't have high-interest debt, immediately start building toward your full 3 to 12-month emergency fund. Set up automatic transfers every payday. Even if it's just $100 or $200 per month, you're making progress. Saving $10,000 at $200 per month takes 50 months. That's over for years. But bump that to $400 per month and you're done in 25 months. The more aggressive you are, the faster you get financial security. Now, let's talk about where to actually keep this money, because this matters more than people think. Your emergency fund needs to be 3 things: safe, liquid, and separate from your regular checking account. Safe means FDIC-insured bank accounts. Not stocks, not crypto, not money under your mattress. You cannot risk losing your emergency fund to market crashes. This money needs to be there when you need it, period. Liquid means accessible within 24 to 48 hours without penalties. A high-yield savings account is perfect for this. You earn interest, currently around for 2 to 5% annually at many online banks, but you can transfer money to checking whenever needed. I use a high-yield savings account at an online bank. The interest isn't making me rich, but it's earning something while sitting there for emergencies. Good options include Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally Bank, American Express Personal Savings, Discover Online Savings. These typically offer much higher interest rates than traditional banks. Do not use a checking account for your emergency fund. It's too accessible and you'll accidentally spend it. Do not use CDs or retirement accounts. Those have penalties or restrictions that defeat the purpose. Separate means in a different account from your everyday spending. Out of sight, out of mind. When your emergency fund sits in checking, it looks like spending money and it will disappear on non-emergencies. I keep mine at a completely different bank than my checking account. It takes to business days to transfer money. That slight friction prevents impulse spending, but doesn't stop me in real emergencies. Let's talk acceleration strategies because I know you want to hit your goal as fast as possible. Here are 5 ways to speed this up that actually worked for me. Number 1, treat your emergency fund contribution like a bill. It's non-negotiable. Pay yourself first, which we covered in my 7 Money Rules video. Set up automatic transfers the day your paycheck hits so you never see that money as spendable. Number 2, save all windfalls. Tax refunds, bonuses, birthday money, rebates, cash gifts. Dump every unexpected dollar directly into your emergency fund until you hit your goal. I put my entire tax refund, almost $2,000, straight into my emergency fund. That accelerated my timeline by months. Number 3. Do a spending audit and redirect waste. Find $100 to $300 per month in your budget that's going to stuff that doesn't matter. Unused subscriptions, excessive eating out, impulse purchases. Redirect that money. If you spend $250 a month on food delivery, cutting that in half gives you $125 for your emergency fund every single month. Number 4. Temporary income boost. I'm not saying work 3 jobs forever, but for 3 to 6 months, could you drive for a rideshare service on weekends? Freelance your skills. Sell stuff you don't use. A temporary side hustle specifically for your emergency fund can cut your timeline in half. Number 5. Do a 30-day no-spend challenge. Pick 1 month and spend money only on absolute essentials. No restaurants, no shopping, no entertainment spending. Just rent, utilities, groceries, and bills. You'd be shocked how much you can save in 30 days of focused intensity. I saved almost $600 in 1 month doing this. It's not sustainable long-term, but it's incredibly effective short-term. Real quick, let's define what actually qualifies as an emergency, because this trips people up. An emergency is an unexpected expense that's urgent and necessary. Job loss, medical bills, essential car repairs, emergency home repairs like a broken furnace, emergency travel for family crisis. Those are emergencies. Not emergencies. Sales and deals, vacations, Christmas gifts, a new phone because you want an upgrade, concert tickets, eating out because you don't feel like cooking. If you can plan for it, save for it separately. Don't raid your emergency fund for predictable expenses or wants. Here's my personal rule. Before touching my emergency fund, I ask, is this unexpected? Is it urgent? Is it necessary? If the answer to all 3 is yes, I use it guilt-free. That's what it's there for. Then I immediately start rebuilding it back to my target. If I pull out $1,500 for a car repair, my new goal is getting that $1,500 back before resuming other financial goals. The biggest mistake people make is building an emergency fund once and then draining it for non-emergencies until it has gone. Your emergency fund is a permanent part of your financial life. You build it, you protect it, and if you use it for a real emergency, you rebuild it right away. All right, Finance Byte family, let's recap. Emergency funds protect you from debt when life happens. Calculate your personal target based on your monthly essential expenses times your stability multiplier, which is 3 to 12 months depending on your situation. Build it in 2 tiers. $1,000 first, then your full amount. Keep it in a high-yield savings account that's safe, liquid, and separate. Speed it up with automatic transfers, windfalls, spending cuts, and temporary income boosts. Your action step this week. Calculate your emergency fund target number using the formula we discussed and open a high-yield savings account if you don't have one. Comment below with your target goal, even if it seems big. We'll cheer each other on. If this video helped you, smash that like button and subscribe to Finance Byte for new money content 3 times a week. Next video, we're finally getting into investing. Where should beginners actually start? How much do you need? What accounts should you use? I'm breaking it all down. Thanks for watching Finance Byte, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go build that financial safety net.